So let's talk about something that sounds super simple, but is actually one of the absolute cornerstones of modern math and logic. It's all about a basic question. How do we group things together?
I mean, really think about it. When you talk about, say, the planets in our solar system or your favorite songs, what is it that makes that group a group? Is it the idea you have in your head? Or is it just, the actual list of things in it? Turns out that question is way deeper than it looks.
The source material for this uses this absolutely fantastic phrase, swallowing up a multiplicity. I just love that. It's such a great way to picture what our minds are doing, right? We see a bunch of different individual things, a multiplicity, and our brain just kind of gulps them down and bundles them into a single concept, one set. But how we do that swallowing, well, that's where the fight starts. And that brings us to the main event. It turns out there are two totally different ways to think about what defines a set. And, believe me, they come with some serious philosophical baggage. We call them the intentional view and the extensional view.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. The intentional view says a set is all about the idea, the shared property. You can think of it as the intention behind why you're grouping things. But the extensional view, it could not care less about your intentions. It says a set is defined purely and simply by the list of what's in it, its extent.
Let's make this real for a second. If I say the set of primary colors, that's an intentional definition. The identity of that set comes from the rule, right? The property of being a primary color. But if I say the set containing red, yellow, and blue, that's extensional. It's just a list. I'm not talking about some abstract idea. I'm just pointing to the members, you see? You end up with the same stuff, but how you got there, philosophically, totally different worlds. Now, while you and I might flip-flop between these two approaches in our daily lives, when it came to building the actual foundations of mathematics, a choice had to be made. There could only be one. A champion had to be crowned, and that champion, without a doubt, was the extensional view. And this led to something called the Principle of Extensionality. Now, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's a foundational axiom. It's a core rule of the game for set theory, and it says, flat out, that a set is its members. That's it. The identity of a set is defined only by the list of things you find inside it. Nothing more, nothing less. This quote just nails it. They are the same set if and only if they have the exact same elements. This rule is, well, it's ruthless. It's so precise. It doesn't matter if you call one set the founding members of the Avengers and another Earth's mightiest heroes. If the list inside both is Iron Man and Captain America, Thor and the Hulk, then guess what? It's the exact same set, period. The why doesn't matter, only the who. Now, here's what's so wild about this. It completely forces a shift in how you think. By adopting this principle, we stop thinking of the set as its own special thing, this single unit floating around with its own identity. Instead, all the focus shifts to the members themselves, to the multiplicity. The container, the box, suddenly becomes way less important than what's actually inside it. Okay, so you might be thinking, this is some nerdy math rule, why do I care? Well, because what we've actually just stumbled into is the modern mathematical version of an ancient philosophical cage match. Platonism versus Nominalism. And the connection is shockingly direct. That intentional view, the one that says a set is defined by an abstract property or idea, that's pure Platonism. It's the belief that the idea of the set is a real thing out there. But the extensional view, that's straight up nominalism. It argues that abstract concepts like the set of primary colors are just convenient names. The only things that are really truly real are the individual members on the list. So this nominalist position, the one that extensionality is built on, says that sets are incomplete symbols. This is such a key idea. It means that the symbol for a set, the curly braces, open curly and closed, doesn't actually point to some independent thing called a set. It's just shorthand. It's a name whose entire meaning, its entire reality, comes from the list of things you put inside it. Without its members, the set is basically just a ghost. So why? Why did mathematicians throw all their weight behind this extensional nominalist view? Why was this choice so absolutely critical? Well, it all comes down to one thing. They needed a rock-solid, stable foundation to build modern math on. You see, early set theory, which used that intentional approach, kept running into these totally devastating paradoxes. Like, what about the set of all sets that do not contain themselves? Thinking about that idea just breaks logic. It's a contradiction. So the solution was to just stop. Stop defining sets by these slippery abstract ideas. Instead, the strategy became, let's build math from the ground up, using only concrete things we can actually list. The principle of extensionality was the perfect tool to make that happen. So what's the bottom line here? By choosing extensionality, mathematics grounded itself. It decided to build its house on solid rock instead of on some philosophical cloud. It just neatly sidestepped all the messy debates about whether the idea of a set is a real thing. Instead, it focused only on what could be clearly listed, defined, and agreed upon, the elements. And that gave it the stable, paradox-free foundation it needed.
And I'll leave you with this thought, which brings this whole thing crashing right into our world. What is a nation? Is it just the list of all of its citizens, the extensional view? Or is it defined by an intentional property, a constitution, a flag, a set of shared ideals? The way you answer that, well, just like in math, it changes everything that follows. Thanks for watching.